Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we've got the members of Reborn Knights Black, and on the right is going to be Minion Miners. That is skilled out a little oddly, and I'll fix that in just a second here. But thank you all so much for joining me this evening. We have got two best of threes for you all, and we'll go ahead and jump right into this. Also, thank you so much immediately, Slavic, for the 6-month resubscription. Thank you for using your Prime here. I very much appreciate that, my friend. It's Jonesy. Thank you so much for the raid as we got started into this. Welcome, everyone. And Weenus, thank you so much for the 69 bits, my dude. How are you all doing? Also, thank you, Pokecheck. How you doing? The Cat Peach is in there. How you doing? Thanks for coming by. Everybody, if I missed you, I apologize. Carson and it's a lot of letters, but thank you for coming by. I appreciate it, but love you all. Let's actually get into some of the map bans that we did have take place before all of this happened, so we can actually get an idea of why we are finding ourselves on Infernal Shrines. The home team this evening is going to be Reborn Knights Black. They lost the coin flip, meaning that the priority went over to the opposing side. They opted for first pick. They banned out Towers of Doom and Braxis Holdout on the side of Minion Miners. Reborn Knights Black went ahead and banned out Dragonshire and Alterac Pass. We won't be seeing those 4 maps in this best of 3 series. And Infernal Shrines, the first map chosen by Reborn Knights Black. A strong map to kind of start out here. I really like that as a start out, because it's a good way to test your enemy's rotation power, to test out their camp timings, to test out how their micro and macro play within a team fight works out, as well as can I confirm that I'm at least a Cat Peach? The is a tall order. Fair. Thank you so much, Slavic. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Except Cat Peach. Let's actually dive into our draft here, because we've missed quite a bit of it. So Infernal Shrines is a very it's a point control based map, and you want to fight over it, and you have to pick up all these skeletal defenders. Alex Straza excels at maps like that. Falstad, a global that we see here and there for some teams. He's got a lot of good point control. He's got camp control. He's got a really enjoyable, at least on my end as a Falstad player, enjoyable poke. He's also got a lot of good alternates in the builds that he can go, whether it be Wingman, whether it be Gathering Storm, whether it be Seasoned Marksman. That first level, I think, is so variable on a map like this. Now, on the opposing side, they banned out the ETC and Alarak. Great setup from the ETC and great control and harassment from the Alarak. I like that from both these sides, kind of heads-up drafts. Arthas was banned out on the left-hand side because that Frozen Tempest, that slowing of the auto attack speed, seems like it's going to be something they really don't want to deal with on the side of Reborn Knights Black. They're going to be maybe auto attack heavy with this Kerrigan Diablo, maybe pick up a Greymane, but they go ahead and they ban out an Ana here because they do need to support, and Ana with the Nano Boost on a Kerrigan or even on a Lightning Breath Diablo is really annoying to deal with. Ragnaros, on the other hand, with the Lucio and the Jaina, so far they've got themselves really good Shrine clear, really good Wave clear, and really good, I think they're going to be throwing their Ragnaros in the solo lane. I would expect it to be that way, but either way, I like up the draft so far from both sides. They're going to need support and a solo lane, a little extra damage on the side of Reborn Knights Black. The Kael'thas for some of that damage and Shrine clear, and Anduin will be picked up as well. We've seen a lot of Anduin play lately, and he's been excelling in the fact that he's able to save a lot of those members that might get thrown around and put into some rough spots. Thrall, I really like here being picked up on the right-hand side, and we have a main tank Uther, it looks like. So we could actually see Ragnaros or Thrall in that solo lane. Either or could actually rotate between the two. If you leave Thrall within the 5-member rotation, maybe we expect to crash Lightning here. But on the opposing side, they now have to deal with, well, is it a Ragnaros, is it a Thrall? Maybe we play some range into this. They could pick up a Raynor here. That would be a very weak front line, but the opposing side doesn't have one themselves, and that pepper, that consistent pepper, might be strong for them. Also, playing a ranged into a Thrall or a Ragnaros would be a little annoying. They go for the Chen, though. They're going to be going for that boy who likes to be a barrel sometimes, but more or less I think we're going to be seeing the Storm, Earth, and Fire. Why do they always have to lose coin flip? They have to keep up with the Anduin up? They have to keep the Anduin up. I agree, Pokecheck. Yep. First pick Kerrigan. Romedy, how you doing, my bud? It's Rom Dog. That desk looks beautiful, by the way. It's confidence. I agree. I think that's definitely a confidence at play right there when someone's going to be able to say, like, all right, you know what, we're first picking Kerrigan. We want it on Infernal Shrines. And this is the one map where we do have to often see her played because of how quickly she can clear the Shrine, how quickly she can engage on the enemy, and there's a lot of great follow-up on top of the Diablo. You get a Shadow Charge in onto a wall. That's a stun right there. Kerrigan dives in as well. She's now initiated into the fight. You then use her combo, which I can never remember off the top of my head. I think it's Ravage and I don't know what the up spike is. Someone in chat will know that. But it's still, I think there's just a lot of good CC and control followed up by a Gravity Lapse. You have the Chastise from Anduin, so it's both sides have some really, really good initiation and some blow-up potential. I'm a little more afraid of Reborn Knights Black draft, but a main tank Uther is a very confident pickup if I do say so. Like, picking up a main tank Uther, granted, it is a best of 3 series, and you're like, all right, you know what, we'll try this out for game 1, and if it doesn't work, we'll just go into a tried and true comp or something. But like, that's a strong and bold first pick. But hey, we got our game number 1. Let's go ahead and jump on into this. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Reborn Knights Black. Crafty Devil's going to be on the Chen. Solskado is going to be on that Anduin. Phantoms will be on the Kerrigan. We're going to be having Rabbit Penguin on the Diablo. And the Pie Maker going to be baking us some heals on the Anduin. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Minion Miners. We've got Murderin going to be on the Thrall. So that's going to be a solo lane Thrall. We're going to be having Himibo going to be on the main tank Uther. Sir Macro of Cheese, which I always love that name, is going to be on the Jaina. Wesker is going to be on that Lucio, and then in the bottom lane, we're going to be having Marshall on this Ragnaros. Let's pull up our level 1 talents and see what we got here. Blast Wave build for the Ragnaros. Okay. That Shadow Charge from Diablo right there. I wish I was actually holding the vision for them right there so we could have seen just... I think it was just that it was like, whoever we see first, we're going to be diving onto them and going for them initially. But I think this is going to be like a 1-3-1, it kind of looks like. Jaina is Fingers of Frost. Like, she would be one of... You would want her in the rotations to pick up more... mana, oh my god, regen globes, there we go. So that way her mana will be bolstered a lot faster. Impaling Blades, thank you. Thank you so much, Ramadi. Sharpen Blades, Impaling Blades, okay, yeah. Sharpen Blades, I think, is actually one of the talents that you can get for the Ravage, if I'm not mistaken. But look at Himibo being thrown around right there. That's a nice follow-up Shadow Charge into the wall, and Rabbit Penguin will set them up for the first kill of the game, and that's going to also be that Kael'thas finishing it out. And Uther going down still provides that ghost heal, and if anyone read the patch notes that we're going to be having for the PTR, they did fix Uther recently. Now, he's not live fixed, but he is fixed in the patch notes in the fact that he can dance in his ghost form. That is specifically to get to wave presence. Were you saying the Shadow Charge forward, like just onto the first player right there? I thought it was just to show aggression, to be honest. Because if a Diablo initially just came out to me and would just like Shadow Charge me and then backed off, I'd be like a little bit like, all right, this Diablo, like they're gonna take some aggressive dives towards me. But this is also going to be right-hand side camp picked up in favor for the members of Minion Miners, as they do have their own in mid lane already. There's about a half a level, maybe a little bit less than half a level in difference right now. But look at Crafty Devil potentially stepping up here, gonna get a kick in right there, gonna body block a little bit. Sir Mako of Cheese taking way too much damage. That's also gonna be Himibo so very low, and the kick to confirm the kill. Uther goes down, and that's going to be another 2 kills for the members of Reborn Knights Black. A very strong start for them right here in this game number 1 of our best of 3 series. No ghost heals needed. Should have danced. Yeah, I know, Mongoose. I was like, because I started saying it, and I was like, everyone, we got ghost. Oh wait, no, we don't. Not till next week. Not till next week. And sorry. Okay. Sorry, I thought my delay was way longer than it was, but oh no, okay, I'm seeing it. It's like the difference between 20 seconds and 30 seconds for a delay. It's obviously it's 10 seconds, but it feels a lot longer when you're on the casting side. 20 seconds feels like almost instantaneous for reactions from chat. When it's like 30 seconds, it's just like, wait, what are you even talking? What are people pogging about in chat? But I have it open. I can see that there was that. I think that was that double kill that just happened. Either way, first objective is popping up here. 3-minute mark into the game, and it will be a Frozen Punisher. Now, I did note on the shrine clear potential of the members of Reborn Knights Black, and they've got some decent shrine clear themselves. They've also got this Ragnaros who can go into the Molten Core form and kind of cheese out the last few, if you will. But look at this chain bomb being spread around so much. 3 members were being afflicted by it right at the end, and that was the final chain that could have spread to the enemy team. And so still just being able to get a lot right there, but Crafty Devil gets the kick out in time. Not going to be able to get picked off right there. Just a little worrisome, but there's a huge amount of damage. Huge leap of faith onto Phantoms, and they're going to make it out alive without losing a single player right there. I'm currently trying to find someone without a questing talent. There we go. Sir Macro of Cheese is going to get a little bit of that healing from Himibo, and they continue to push out into this wave. And they don't see, the thing is they need their shrine clear to be in the shrine, but they were actually pushing out the wave as well. So they have Ragnaros going right back in there. Right in there, that was a little bit of a chastise going out to maybe catch someone right there. And now, kind of reset. 7 talent tiers right around the corner, and I don't think this Shaman camp will give that to them, but this Minion wave definitely will. And they've got to consider this engagement right now on the side of Minion Miners. That's going to be Reborn Knights Black stepping forward, and Phantoms once again taking way too much damage, but they push Marshall so far away from the friendly team. Phantoms is so low, and that's going to be the blast wave. That's going to be a Ragnaros for a Kerrigan right there, and they're going to be able to back off. Crafty Devil has no brew, going to just stop and take a drink for a second. The Pie Maker going to be getting caught out right there. No convection stacks to be lost, so that's going to be not too big of a loss right there, but this definitely will be first objective going over in favor for the members of Minion Miners. They also did have a camp, this Impaler camp in mid lane that just ended, and so what they're going to go ahead and do is just push out this wave a little bit. That way the Punisher has to kind of deal with the Minion wave right there. That also will yield the souls for Rabid Penguins. They're going to be full on those. They're going to have the insta revive or the buyback when they die. Anduin cheats? Oh my god, yeah. They're banking on Lucio to make huge spacing plays. I can see that. Because I even saw, I think you even noted, yeah, we have, that's not the right, well, apparently both of these are party mix. We'll click on it, we'll highlight it when we actually get back to the talents here in a couple cycles for this, but Frozen Punisher will lock down the tower for a couple seconds there. I believe it's 2 seconds total if that little ring hits a structure, so you can actually see it catching onto that one right there, but it's not going to do that one. It will just lock it down, meaning no shots are going to be fired from it, and I think that's really the only thing. I don't think it has any sort of armor reduction from that. It's just going to be shots locked down, much like how you see Syndragosa. Whew. A very good back and forth at the start right here, and I would say it's pretty even when it comes to our levels. We got maybe an 1/8 of a level difference between these two teams, still on the side of Reborn Knights Black, and they do have 2 kills over the enemy side, but those kills, as this progresses, they're going to be yielding a lot different experience between the two teams. Those early game kills from Reborn Knights Black, yes, they got them a bit of a lead, but late game kills, if they get it on the side of Minion Miners, that's going to be pushing them a lot further forward. Are they going to try and... I'm watching Minimap, I was like, are they going to try and rotate to Chen? It seems like they're just going to be swapping out the Ragnaros for the Jaina. Which, speaking of the Jaina, she is going to be sitting at 8 out of the 20 stacks on the Fingers of Frost. We have the Mana Addict for that Kael'thas sitting at 14 out of the baseline, or I guess the start of the reward of the quest. There we go, which is going to be 20, but it's uncapped on the side of Kael'thas's. As the major difference between these two. The other thing, too, is obviously it gives 2 different things. The Mana Addict for Kael'thas is going to give him that barrier that he's going to be able to pop every 45 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. The other thing that we wanted to look at really quickly, and I completely forgot about it, is going to be, yeah, it's the Subwoofer. Hitting 3 enemies with a single sound wave is going to increase the arc by 50 and range by 20. This is a really, really fun... I actually, like, if I end up playing Lucio in Brawls, this is what I usually end up taking, because this is like, take all the questing talents. Just take all the questing talents. I love watching higher tier games. How's it going, Shadonis? Thanks for coming by, my friend. Let's see here. We do have 10s for both teams. Oh, it's going to be Divine Storm for that Uther. I'm skimming through a lot of these as well. No Wandering Keg for that Chen, unfortunately, this evening, so we won't be seeing that, at least in this game right now. And we've seen how impactful the Storm, Earth, and Fire can be, and I've seen one game of Wandering Keg, and it got value. It worked out for a team. They ended up stealing away a boss, I think, with it, and so that was great and all, but I want more Wandering Keg games. That's really about it. But Storm, Earth, and Fire just so very powerful right there. Also being able to maybe throw a Light Bomb on those Storm, Earth, and Fire that do dive in. So I think they have an AoE stun. We can double check on this, I think. Can leap and slow. So you could basically, if you throw the Light Bomb onto Earth, if you know which one is Earth, and then they kick in and they leap and get that slow, then they also get the Light Bomb on top of it. That'll be a great initiation. Or heck, they just throw it on top of Diablo, they throw out the Apocalypse on top of it, so you have 1 stun, and then that, I think it's isn't it 1.75? Yeah, 1.75 second. So there's like a 0.25 second, or no, 0.5 second difference between these two when a hero could move out of this circle potentially. So that would probably be our initiator right there. But look at this dive onto Rabid Penguin in this bottom lane. They're going to try and make it out. That's going to be a push into the wall. Sundering comes out as well. But a little bit of an anti-synergy right there as Rabid Penguin does end up going down. Souls are ripped from Diablo. That's a huge win for the members of Minion Miners, as this also will be a Mortar Punisher coming up in this mid area. And look at Ragnaros with that huge Sulfurous Smash right there, getting 10 of those Skeletal Defenders already. And they're doing a great job of kind of cycling their abilities and also just weakening them, and then just utilizing that Sulfurous Hungers right there. No, it's not Sulfurous Hungers. That's the actual level 1. Sulfurous Smash maybe? Or no, Empower Sulfurous. There we go. But just using that and then just getting that huge AoE splash and just getting a quick clear. 33 out of the 40 necessary already, so they can play this slow. And they've found themselves a Thrall that's going to be a nice Ravage and an oh my god, that's going to be such a good slowdown, but that's going to be still this Thrall living. Well, at least for a couple seconds, that was a nice initiation right there. Rabid Penguin very low, but Anduin goes down, so a 1-for-1 Thrall for an Anduin, and now they're going to be stepping further forward. Kael'thas will be able to throw out the Phoenix Phantom, so very low. Hemibo is going to be low as well. They fall, and that's going to be the Diablo picked up on top of it, and they still have heals from Uther as well. Marshall just chasing, and they get another smoosh onto the Kerrigan, excuse me, and I was just like, wait, Diablo was below that. How is that possible? But I think it was actually Jaina who got it. But that will also be Chen killing Chen right there, and this will be Mortar Punisher moving on through bottom lane after the members of Minion Miners wipe the entire team of Reborn Knights Black and pick up a Mortar Punisher. Second one of the game, and second one to go over there in favor. They could throw this Lava Wave in top lane just to push back this Shaman camp, but it looks like we do have the Thrall up here now. They'll go ahead and prioritize that, get the easy quick clear, and not lose out too much right there. I gotta say, the members of Minion Miners, their early game was a little bit slow, but they've definitely woken up in this mid game. We can see if Reborn Knights Black are going to be able to bring it back and kind of answer to this pressure and this momentum that they've started on the side of Minion Miners. Now, they won't be pushing in with this Mortar Punisher. Still sitting around 75, but it seems like they're a little afraid to step a little further forward in that lane because that's a very good choke point where Kerrigan can rotate around and try and get a flank on the enemy team, or on the friendly team. And the other thing, too, is while that's happening, they can back off. They can go ahead and push these camps out, get themselves a bit of a bolster and experience, take them off the map, and then maybe cycle around and try and find some picks while the enemy team is clearing up a lot of this. They can play this. They can kind of play the map however they want, in a sense. They're kind of just gaining control and just putting more pressure and making the enemy team answer constantly. This is a really, really good play in your own games that, you know, you're pushing up on this bottom lane keep and your siege isn't the strongest in the world, or you're just like, you know what, there's a lot of priority in the map that we can just put right there. Let's go ahead and back off. We'll let the Punisher do that. We can see the enemy team, and then we'll go ahead and grab our own camp. So really good strategy coming out from both these teams thus far, but Minion Miners with a lot of these just 200 IQ plays, if you will. Minion Miners landed their combo. Well played their part. Combo. Oh, speaking of combo, and even the, is it Chrysalis? Yeah, the Chrysalis was used right there, which is going to be giving Phantoms, I believe it gives actually some health back as well. There's regeneration right there while you're inside. It's going to be the Light Bomb onto Phantoms, and they end up going down right there. No good initiation from that overall. That's going to be the break it down from the Lucio, or excuse me, the Sound Barrier, and that was also a Thrall with a Sundering, and they find a second kill. The members of Minion Miners are going to find themselves also a talent tier over the opposing side. They've got Impalers and a Catapult in this bottom lane, and mid lane still have their Impalers here, and this is also going to be no Catapult just yet, but they're working their way through this. The other factor, too, is we have an Arcane Punisher popping up in this mid lane fairly soon, and that's something that they're going to want to have in their favor. And also having this mid lane fort down means that they're going to be able to have periodic catapult pressure and be able to push in further with the said Punisher if they go for it. You can actually see this aggressive play coming out from them, and I wonder if Chen knew it themselves, as we actually have Diablo vision right now, and this is going to be a whole big blow up onto Crafty Devil. Do they jump into the Panda Pals? They don't have it for 6 seconds, and that's going to be the route from Thrall, and that will be a third fort picked up during all this. Really good late game coming out from Minion Miners, coming online, and now they still have their Lava Wave up and available. They can push that wave if they want, but it seems like they'll hold it, maybe throw it out during the Shrine phase. And speaking of said Shrine phase, it shouldn't be too far around the corner. We'll cycle through some of the other numbers here, and we'll get an idea of what the 16 talent tier looks like after we cycle through all of those. But Diablo, definitely going to be needing to stack up on the souls a lot more, because they've gone down a couple times. And they don't lose souls every time they die, only when they have the 100 souls themselves. So it's just still, you can't pick up souls if you're constantly dying. That's the issue. It got interrupted, yeah. Yeah, I was like, that's such a low cooldown for Storm, Earth, and Fire. It was definitely on a 10-second cooldown, I think. And they managed to knock them out of it with, I don't know what, to be honest. I have to check and see if maybe Jaina had like Numbing Blast. Is it Numbing Blast? Yeah, I think it is. Which roots? Northern Exposure, I believe, is the one that reduces armor. Either way, they're trying to push in this top lane, trying to open this up a little bit further. The Pie Maker taking a lot of damage from the Shifting Meteor. There we go. I wanted to keep saying Meatball, but I think that's also because I'm very hungry right now. Minion Miners on fire? Yeah, I agree. They've got some pressure in bottom lane already mounting. They've got a Catapult coming in here in a wave. So this is kind of like their territory, but at the same time. And that bottom lane keep is starting to fall a little bit, but this is also going to be 16 talents here on the opposing side, and look at them kind of try and go for this wraparound. They're not even giving it over. They don't want anything. They don't want any part of any sort of flank or catch onto them. Plus, they're already sitting at 20 skeletal defenders. They could realistically get closer to that 30 mark and then just have Marshall use Molten Core, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. They're going to just try and get the last 20 out of the Molten Core. 16 talent here is now also here for the members of Reborn Knights Black, even talent here in that right. 30 regeneration globes, just a note, on that Kael'thas. That's a big mana barrier right there. 74 souls on that Diablo, so they only need about 26 more of those minions. Is it just minions? I think they actually get a little bit more for hero kills, do they not? Yes. Also, BRB, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Huge huge blow up coming out. That's going to be Kael'thas, the first one to go down. That Ring of Frost connecting and getting them locked down. Crystals was used by the Kerrigan, and that might have just secured them another kill on the side of Minion Miners. That Well of Hope is going to be sitting out right there. Unfortunately, it's not going to be... Lightwell, excuse me, is not going to be getting them what they're wanting. But overall, they are going to be able to steal away the Punisher, and so at least they don't have that coming into their lane. There's a little bit of a silver lining with all of that. They do lose 2, but while they're going to respawn, that gives them time to push out their waves. They're going to be able to push back bottom lane. They're also going to close the experience gap a little bit more, but they still lost 2 people, which is going to be a decent amount of experience on the opposing side. Let's actually jump over that really quickly. You can see the difference in heroic experience when it comes to just kills. 6 to 13 in those kills right there. Ragnaros with 13,000 experience for the friendly team as well. That's a lot right there. This bottom lane, though, seems like they want to pressure it out, prep it up a little bit. They don't know where the next Punisher is, but they've got a good wave coming in through here. They're going to throw a lava wave through top. They'll push out top. Wonder if they timed it out with the wave coming in. Let's actually pull away the talents here. I thought they were going to be trying to make an initiation, but this might just be them just kind of delaying out 420 and also letting their waves push in. Rabbit Penguin going for the initiation on the Sir Mako of Cheese, and that's going to be a huge light bomb out as well. Onto just one. That's going to be Diablo finishing out the Souls. Ring of Frost does connect onto a couple. That's also going to be the Divine Storm from that Uther. Break It Down was used, and Crafty Devil is going to lose one of the Storm, Earth, and Fire clones, but they still are on this chase as they've lost the Jaina so far. That's going to be one overpower. They're looking at the Marshall, and I don't think there's anything they can do right there, and they're going to try and stay alive, but they end up going down as well. Reborn Knights Black putting on the pressure in the late game, but they need to back off and go for top lane clear, mid lane clear, and bottom lane clears. So while they do get 2 kills, they still need to go back and manage their own waves. And so with all that, we just saw that there was like a 3,500 to 9,700. 2 kills yielded them near 4,000 experience. So that's I was kind of rambling a little bit about it at the start of the game about how experience can be so impactful in the late game. You're now seeing how you can close that gap so effectively. Mercenaries are still a big gap as well, and we are seeing about a 10,000 experience difference between the two teams overall, but still, that's just a huge pickup right there for them. And oh, they're going to be stepping further forward onto this camp, and with the 2 members still down, they just go ahead and take it away. That's a great steal from the enemy team. They do have the next Punisher in the bottom lane. It's going to be Frozen right there. Kerrigan going to also work on clearing out these waves, making sure that these periodic catapults will not amount to too much in top lane, mid lane, or bottom lane, and then start to take down these keeps. I'm loving the back and forth of this game right now. I don't know who I give this over to. You know, looking at the structures, looking at the kills, I would maybe say it goes one way, but these late game fights are starting to really be anybody's game, especially with just how they've kind of staggered out a little bit. Some like staggered out in the sense of the way that they're kind of like diving around and pushing people around. Like Ragnaros getting separated from the team and getting peeled from that Diablo constantly, but Crafty Devil is going to have to pop into that Storm, Earth, and Fire right there as they were taking way too much damage. But these clones are as well. Look at that. They're going to be sending 1 clone away as long as one of the clones lives, which I think that one's Earth right there. They're going to be able to then just get the boop, it ends, and you go back to exactly where you were at. Granted, it's going to be a decent cooldown that they got off of the enemy team. Gonna be, what is it, 90 seconds for the Storm, Earth, and Fire? 100 seconds, excuse me. I feel like I'm always off by 10 seconds, roughly. Ragnaros did go into the second lava wave. I don't know what that's actually called. Lava Surge, and they're gonna be having that coming in through these lanes, just trying to push these out constantly and make sure that they're gonna be bolstering them up and making that time bomb, as I was describing, on the enemy side just tick a little bit faster. The other factor, though, too, is while, yes, they are going to probably have dominance over these Shrine, the waves being pushed up are going to be so much easier for them to clear and get their 20s. Will they be able to get 20 by the time... yeah, well, it's going really quick here. And I think the reason they got it last time is because Ragnaros wasn't there, was just sitting on the Molten Core, just pushing and trying to go for that. But now they're going to be backing him up. That's going to be a huge combo going out onto the Thrall, who gets the Blink out there, as well as the Cleanse. That's going to be the Break It Down from the Lucio. Ring of Frost goes out. Light Bomb was onto the Chen as well, trying to get in the backline. Sir Mako of Cheese is going to be having the Ice Block. Kerrigan, first one to go down. Ragnaros will be traded out. That's a 1-for-1 so far as they pick off the Uther as well. And now they're going to be starting to pause this fight a little bit. Oh my god, this throw is so very low. Can they get the last little bit of hit? It's not going to be a possibility. Sir Mako of Cheese going to be making their way out as well. Uther going to be finally going down. They didn't go for the Redemption at level 20. They went for the Divine Hurricane. Look at this Rabbit Penguin who just needs to get the Fire Stomp. You can see the pings going out onto them. Wesker is trying to chase in as they use the Break It Down to just currently step forward further and further into this, and they're staying alive somehow, some way. If Rabbit Penguin can get this turnaround kill, that'd be insane, but they still stay alive. That's going to be the Thrall, somehow alive for the longest time in that. They end up going down right there. A 1-for-3 trade thus far, and that's Jaina going out. Wesker is going to be leaving as well, and Crafty Devil comes back into their full form. Whew. They only need 3 more of these skeletal defenders, but it's a little risky to do this, and look at Sir Mako of Cheese. They walk too far forward to try and dump one Blizzard, and now that's going to be Westgro trying to make their way out as well. 37 skeletal defenders still. They just need to steal 3, and that's, oh, this is getting really close. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. They get 1 sound wave, and that's just going to be them backing off, and that will be the 4th Punisher of the game. 2nd one for the members of Reborn Knights Black. Being picked up here, going to be moving in through this bottom lane, and they've got a good wave right behind it. The thing to consider, though, lava wave through these top lanes. They're constantly throwing this forward, and that's something they're going to need to deal with. Really good timing right there to make sure they get the wave that just spawns. Two members are still going to be down. 1 for 9 seconds, 1 for 30 right there. Woo! That was so intense. Bandit just left the room to go get water too. Great breakdown analysis coming out from him. Ragnaros will jump into the Molten Core form. We're sitting at 20 minutes into this game right now, and this Punisher is going to hurt quite bad, as this will be the core go. Oh, Marshall. They start on that side, but they're going to go ahead and have a lot of damage thrown onto them. That's going to be the Lava Wave coming out as well. That's going to be Anduin, the first one to go down. Divine Hurricane coming out as well. Punisher jumping over to try and help out. The Pie Maker will be picked up as well. Ring of Frost comes out from the Jaina, connecting onto 2. Marshall so very low. Kerrigan with the blink right over the wall. Marshall gets kicked by Crafty Devil. Can they get out? They have the Storm, Earth, and Fire right in time, but here's the the thing is, like, when Crafty Devil comes out of this combo form, he's gonna have no health, and you can see that they were pinging it right there. They know Crafty Devil comes into it. The Break It Down was used as well, and that's going to be the bottom lane keep saved. Diablo was back up because of the fact that they did lose souls. So they kind of had that buyback, if you will, not optional, but instantly had it. Let's actually cycle through. We're gonna cycle through some of the other numbers really quickly, but it seems. So it's 46 seconds on the longest one, which is Chen. I'd say we're average 20 seconds on the other 3 members. Diablo's up. They've got to go through this keep, and you can see they're posturing. They want to end. Can Minion Miners end it here? Diablo pushing out top lane a little bit further, just also trying to pick up a few more souls. Not 4 seconds on the end, and this is going to be close. I don't know if their siege is going to be enough to be able to burn down this core right now. They've got Jaina, which is going to be great, and they've got Thrall as well, so that is something to note right there, as they have taken it down a little bit. Break It Down was used right there. They do believe they have the Base Nova, or I think that's how you pronounce it, Base Nova, which is going to upgrade it because it's like a 30-second cooldown at that point. Yeah, and they back off. They're just like, you know what, we took a little bit off, we whittled it down, and this is a game of just, it seems like they're going to slow play it. Now, if they can... Sorry, Bandit was actually, I was wondering why he left. He actually ran into the other room to go choose a toy to bring it back in here, so there we go. So individuals being massive, a lot of massive plays, big plays. Message me on Discord after today. Alrighty, Zex. How you doing, bud? It was good to see you on, I was watching the Underlords Pro on Friday. It's good to see you. Ring of Frost goes out. Huge Divine Hurricane as well. That's going to be the Chrysalis just in time, but can they stay alive? That's going to be the Thunder coming out as well. Rabid Penguin does go down, or excuse me, doesn't go down. That's going to be Phantoms that went down right there. Rabid Penguin just so very low. Anduin trying to get this healing out, and it seems like it's going okay for now, as Marshall will be the target, but they can't get anyone low enough, and that's going to be Rabid Penguin getting picked off. Only 49 souls, as well as the Pie Maker going down. Crafty Devil kicking around here, maybe just trying to split the enemy team, maybe trying to save Soul Skiddo, but either way, that's going to be them going down, and look at this pressure coming in through all these waves. Mid lane is just about to go down, and the GGs are actually being called out by the members of Reborn. One more catapult will take down that mid lane keep, and now they have catapults and camps on core. The enemy team rushing on in, and it looks like we have ourselves game number 1 going over to the members of Minion Miners. A very hard-fought game and a very good, balanced back-and-forth game between these two teams. GG. Well played. Whew. I hope you all can't hear my fan, because I just realized that that's running in the background, because it is very, very hot in the house. It's actually about that. Actually, I saw you join the Discord. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'll message you afterwards. Broiled Beef, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Thank you all for hanging out. I'm glad you're all chatting and cheering on these teams. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting. If you haven't already followed the stream, please go ahead and do so. I do a lot of casting on this channel. This week, we got a big old week of casting. We're going to be doing Monday through Thursday. I've got 2 games today. So far, 1 scheduled tomorrow, but we might try and pick up a second. 2 games on Wednesday and 1 on Thursday, but we'll try and pick up, as I said, another game just to piece that all in together. GG's Minion Miners with the anti-dive solution. Cap Beach, I think that was a good way. That's a good way to put it. It's definitely a good way to put it. Show the talents really quickly, and let me get a message out to one of the captains to find out what they want to do for our next game. Okay, yeah. The 2 Sunders at the end were the biggest. I could agree with that. Those Sunders were really, really good from Thrall. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's pull it back. Bandit has gotten a new friend to co-cast, so while I go ahead and take care of some of the background stuff, he's going to give you his breakdown and analysis of game number 1 right there. It's a lot of good fair points. Yeah. The Light Bomb and the Apocalypse could have worked really, really well together. And just unfortunately, I think they realized it too early, and they managed to just kind of counter it in a sense. So, overall, good play from Minion Miners. I would say that the majority of that game felt like it was in the hands of Reborn Knights Black. There was that mid-game point where it was definitely like right around that 13 talent tier, we had the dynamic shift and the power shift going over to Minion Miners. That early game was heavily dominated by Reborn Knights Black, and it was maybe the 13 talent tier, maybe it was just they kind of figured out how the dive composition was working and how the synergies or the order of talents was or abilities was going. Not sure in that front, but overall it was a really, really good response and kind of adaptation coming out from the members of Minion Miners. Now, we are going to be, they're currently deciding on what map they want to go to. They have to discuss it all. Top dog. He is. Give me a game 3. I'd like it. I just missed it. Did the Uther comp win? Spoilers. Yes. The harsh truth coming out from Bandit. Yeah, exactly. Bandit, what are your thoughts on a game 3, bud? How do you feel about a game 3? Yeah? You think it'll go game 3? If I just talk like this? Will you just perk up? What's up, what? Alright, we're just waiting to find out what map that they're going to want. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, we got our map here. I'm going to get this all set up, and we'll get going into our next game. Minion Miners has a comp that comes on light 13. To referee this. Team number 1 wants first pick. Gonna take us to there. Alrighty. And then we invite you first. Invite to game. Alrighty. It's won by that team. And we are now gonna go to that map. Dat map. Alright, we have... There they are. Swap team, and then let's get them in here. And we're going to get going into our game number 2 of our first best of 3 series this evening. But yeah, while we're waiting for for the last team to get in here, as always, if you enjoy the stream, please go ahead and hit the follow button. We are pushing so close, very closely for partners, so I don't know what viewership looks like right now. I try not to look, but thanks for being here. Thanks for cheering people on, and thanks for helping me push towards partner. I really do appreciate it. I love you all very much. Bandit appreciates the support. We do have a bark box that I gotta open up some point this week. But we'll get to that. We got a bark box for Bandit at some point. I need to back up his camera, hold on. There we go. He kept like clipping his head off, and I was just like, nah, like we want to see your cute face. And yeah, that's another good reason to follow, is because I got a dog. He's adorable. Look at him. Look at that face. Look at that face. But I hit follow. I unfollow. Fair point. Well, if you've already followed, thanks for being here. Have you considered joining the Discord, or following on Twitter, or checking out the YouTube page? All things that you can check out. Teams are... Alright, we're going to find out if these teams are ready, and we're going to get going into our next game here. Thank you all, though, for hanging out. Thanks for supporting the stream, and thanks for watching everybody battle it out this evening. We got another best of 3 series after this one. It will be a Division B West game, and it's going to be between Roll One Esports versus Regen Blue. So if you enjoy B West action, you enjoy Here's the Storm action in general, get yourself a drink, because we got a lot of good games coming. One ready. Yeah, we just gotta wait for the other ready, and then we'll get going. Alrighty, we do. Alrighty, we got a game. Let us head into game number 2. We are going to be going into... I don't do social media, sorry. That's okay. Thanks for being here, Pokecheck. I'm in your Discord, maybe. You might be already. But thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We are getting into game number 2 of our best of 3 series between the members of Reborn Knights Black and Minion Miners. We find ourselves on Volskaya Foundry. And if you're at home and you're wondering why we're on Volskaya Foundry, I have got you covered, my friends. The home team this evening is going to be Reborn Knights Black. They went ahead and lost the coin flip. That gives options over to Minion Miners. They opted for first pick in that first game, and they banned out Towers of Doom and Braxis Holdout. Dragonshire and Alterac Pass were banned out by the members of Reborn Knights Black. We have Infernal Shrines as the first map chosen by Reborn Knights Black and lost by them. They opted for first pick for game number 2, and Volskaya Foundry will be our game number 2, chosen by Minion Miners. And I gotta say, for game number 2, I like this option as well. I think this is a really, really good pickup on map overall, because it's just more aggression. It's a lot of good fighting, and they seem to do that pretty well in that last game. Li Ming and Lucio banned out on the left-hand side, and we have an ETC and also an Alarak once again banned out by Minion Miners. There must be something or someone on the side of Reborn Knights Black who's got a strong ETC or a very strong Alarak. No lie, Volskaya has the best queue and in-game music. I agree. I agree with that. That's a first pick, though. Sylvanas. She is going to be very, very powerful on a map like this. Her push pressure is extremely notable. And in fact, you're able to just lock down towers and then just let the Triglop Protector free siege in a sense, and you can really just destroy with that Triglop Protector. On top of that, too, is you have the Mercenary Queen that we often do see being picked up, where you can then also buff the turrets that are going to be placed around these points, and you really have a prioritization around those throughout the game. Jaina Chen picked up on the right-hand side. They're going to be taking it themselves on the side of Minion Miners. They want the Chen, and they want that blow-up on top of it. Sir Macro Cheese did play a great Jaina in that last game, so I don't blame them for if that's the same player right there. But the 2-3 pick coming out, they could go for the support and main tank here, just kind of lock in those 3 and just kind of have a rough draft, and that's gonna, well, they lock in their main tank as well as their solo lane, so great wave clear. They've got some good dive with this, but the only thing that I was like, you know, the only thing I worry about this is like, well, maybe you just change up your solo laner then, and then you just put the Chen in the rotation, but it's like, I don't know how I feel about that overall. Ana will be banned out because they obviously need to support, and they're not going to just ban out random damage, because burning down the support class is a little bit better. Cho'Gall is going to be banned out, or going to be banned out here. So very sad. Weenus, thank you so much for the host. Thank you for bringing everyone over here. I appreciate that, my friend. Who willingly plays Chen? But like, Chen is great now. Chen is the big boy. Alex Strauss to be picked up here, and that's going to pair well into the draft right there. I think the Dragon Queen is just another great point control, as well as just pressure she can apply, and then a Thrall as well. Are they going to try and maintain Chen? They know. I mean, that was a really early like Jaina Chen, so maybe. I would have, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm kind of sad that we don't get a Cho'Gall, because I really would have liked to see Cho'Gall here. I'm sad about that, I'm not going to lie. Falstead will be picked up here with a Decker Cane as well. I like that. Decker Cane has really good point control. You can go for the Lornator, you can go for the Stay a While and Listen. Oh, is this like a Stay a While and Listen Hinterlands Blast with an Anubarak like Burrow Charge in, maybe? About time? No main tank Chen? Well, we're gonna find out. Do we get a main tank Chen? Did they go? I don't see it. Like, I think this is something like a Garrosh, maybe. Okay, I like that. Okay, cool. They changed out the skin. I think that one's banned. That's some aggression from the Tyrael I do like. A little like, not Juice Pirate Sea, but like that could be. I don't know how I feel about a maintain Chen here. No, like, I don't think I'd like it at all. If you go Gust, you're bad, is what the opposing team is saying right now. I love that. It's just like, yeah, like we're gonna try and bait the enemy team to just take it straight line damage. Impossible. I mean, nothing's impossible if you try. So here, like, here's my whole thing. You pick up Chen and you don't go Storm, Earth, and Fire. You go Wandering Keg. So when you try and juice pirates and you're trying to leave, you then just use the Wandering Keg to push the enemy team back. And you're like, no, 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 no. And that way, I also get to see Wandering Keg. Don't make the poor man suffer. Alrighty, friends. We got ourselves a game here. Let's go ahead and jump on into this. On the left-hand side, we've got the members of Reborn Knights Black. Down 1 in our best of 3 series. Let's see if they can bring us to game number 3. Crafty Devil going to be on the Leoric. Phantoms will be on the Falstead. Rabid Penguin's going to be on the Anubrak. Solskadot is going to be on the Decker Kane. And the Pie Maker will be on our Sylvanas. On the right-hand side, we got everybody up 1 game on the side of Minion Miners. We've got Westgard going to be on the Alex Straza. Sir Macro of Cheese is going to be on that Jaina. Himibo is going to be on the Tyrael. Murderin is going to be on the Thrall. Excuse me. And then in the bottom lane, we have Marshall on the lovely Chen. Let's check out our mid lane. This is where the fun's going to be. We'll also take a look at level 1 talents here. See? Storm Stout Secret Recipe. That's a Wandering Keg build right there. No, I have no idea. Bandit is judging Draft so hard. Yeah, he is. Is knockback on Keg still idiotic? I don't know. I honestly do have to play, it is Storm Stout Secret Recipe. I'm gonna do my best to watch solo lane, because solo lane is actually something we don't get to highlight a lot. Here's an adaptation that we often do see as well. So Thrall not being in the solo lane is gonna be going into Crash Lightning, which means that the Crash Lightning, once you get the reward, you are going to be getting damage increase, but the big reward from there is going to be prioritizing enemies so that it bounces and you can potentially have that little extra finalized damage that you might be looking for here. Just going to get my vision set up as well so we can just show vision for these teams like that. And now we're just going to go ahead and see them break off and go for their fortification camps. I believe they should be doing it on both sides. Yeah, we are going to be seeing them on the left-hand side as well. Sylvanas and Decker Kane should be able to burn this down themselves right there. And Crafty Devil getting dove on a little bit in bottom lane. That's just gonna be a couple members stepping down here and just being like putting on the pressure to this Leoric and just like, you sure you want to do it? If he's going secret stat when he's going for sustain, Ugg solo lane Chen. Yeah, I mean it's main tank Tyrael. It's what I would say 90% of my draft analysis is me probably saying the wrong thing. And 40% of it is me knowing that I'm saying the wrong thing. There is a little bit of an initiation right here, but I think it's just going to be kind of a back and forth. No one going in just yet for the biotic emitter. They are going to be having that lockdown into a couple players right there. And this is Marshall taking a decent amount of damage. They use that stagger. That's going to be Rabid Penguin diving in as well as Crafty Devil. And they're so far very low, but they don't actually pick up the biotic emitter because the point wasn't channeled. And they do get the change out in kills, and they do pick that up on Crafty Devil. False with a barrel roll forward. Very aggressive right there. Does find themselves a Tyrael. And does Phantoms go down? No, because there's no sort of even in death here for that Tyrael to dive forward and get that explosion onto Phantom. So they're going to be able to walk away with that one with a 2-to-1 trade in favor for the members of Reborn Knights Black. And the other thing to note too is something I didn't highlight, and this is my personal favorite. They are going to be going into the Gathering Storm build on this Falsta. They're also going to be going into this Static Shield at level 4. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people because they're like, all right, auto attacks will heal you. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. If you're sitting there autoing, you're going to heal. But I like the idea of being able to also utilize the Static Shield to kind of step forward with that and just have a little extra kind of barrier as I'm going to be in some of these dragged out fights. Maybe it's just a band-aid. Maybe it's probably the wrong way to play. But it's just something that I like to highlight because I think it's a cool combo right there just to get that extra shielding on top of the hammerings you can kind of throw out from a distance. So if anyone dives onto you, you've got a bit of a barrier you can create in a sense. It's not the biggest, but auto attacks mean you're kind of standing still and you can't heal that well. Either way, let's actually let's get some vision for these teams. Marshall steps up onto the point. They do have 32% in Rising on the side of Reborn Knights Black. The Pie Maker going to be dealing with top lane right now, as that's just going to be them pushing in with this camp for the time being. We do have Rabid Penguin still on this point. Let's actually jump over the vision for the members of Reborn Knights Black, as they know where that Chen is, and they're kind of seeing a few members rotate down here. Sylvanas is auto-attacking her way down into the bottom lane. I think they do see that on the opposing side, so that's why they're playing this point so aggressive. They know that there's no Sylvanas to join the friendly team because they need to deal with this top lane camp. Once that's over, maybe see them posture a little bit differently. Alexstrasza will go over here with the help of Thrall to try and grab this fortification camp. That might be the opportunity for them to step forward. The big thing is they just don't know if they're going to be on that point. Or if they're going to be over on the bot emitter, but they might have scouted out now with them kind of backing off and playing this a little bit slower. Also, 7 talent here just now hitting for them as well. Can they get something here? They have the point contested, no charge on either side. Emerald was used by that Decker Kane as well. Something we didn't talk about in the draft is that Alexstrasza was picked not super early in the game. Hold on. Marshall going to be kicking in the backline. That's going to be the Pie Maker taking a lot of damage. A lot of snow being dropped from that Jaina. We do have the Abundance Circle coming out as well as the Biotic Emitter, so they're going to get some healing from that. Alexstrasza will be popping that Dragon Queen form and forcing the enemy team off. Overtime has been hit, and they're going to now back off and just wait, get themselves some mana, get themselves some health, and just re-engage once that Dragon Queen is down. Also going to be trying to go for their fortification camp. Can they actually... See, they know that they're coming forward here, and that's going to be a nice anchor from Rabid Penguin just to make sure that they're not going to be stepping further forward. That's the Eldruin's Might forward for the Tyrael. Do they go in with it? No, I think it's just it's there to be a threat. So the one thing I wanted to talk about is we'll probably get another fight as I try and talk about it, but Emerald at level 7 for Decker Kane. The Decker Kane being picked up so late in the draft after that Alexstrasza was kind of... I believe the Alexstrasza was picked up right after the ban phase on the side of Minion Miners, so that means that it's just... They saw that Alexstrasza and they're like, cool, we're on a point control based map, we can do rotations, we can throw out potions, let's grab Decker Kane, let's grab that Emerald, and let's make sure that we reduce the healing by 75%. That Emerald is such a powerful tool. Yes, it's a 30-second cooldown, but if you're able to time that out right around that Dragon Queen form or right around when you do see some of those clutch heals necessary, it's a good time to throw that Emerald out. So just really, really heads up play coming out from Reborn Knights Black. Looks like they're going to go ahead and just get a little bit of damage in mid, but they want to prioritize top. They want to open this up and get themselves prepped for the second objective of the game, as I feel like that one gets a lot more value. You start to take down forts with that one. This one right here, we're kind of prepping, and we're just going to be getting the well, the front gate. They actually need to back off. They haven't got the well just yet. Okay, there it's going to be. They actually drop it. They don't have any sort of 10s yet, so there's no Gust from Falstad or Hinterland's Blast if they want to go for that. But they back off. Decent. I'd say there's like half a level between the two teams, and we still haven't seen any kills from that early fight. We do have Siege Camp on the left-hand side, going to be picked up by the Decker, Kane, and Sylvanas, and same thing going to be happening on the right-hand side by the Sylvanas, by the Alexstrasza and the Jaina right there. Let's check out this Chen, because I need to drink some water. Kind of just having, I wouldn't say free reign in bottom lane, but Falstad just going to be coming down here, throwing out a hammering here and there. And then they do have their 10 talents here. It is going to be Gust. We do have the Entomb, so you could see maybe a Gust Entomb combo. Get that Entomb, force him into the back wall. You get the Wailing Arrow as well. Decker Kane maybe going for the Lornado? Yes, and we're going to be getting a Lornado, so that might even be pushing them into that, or just have some point control, or maybe even disengage control with that potential right there. We do have Rabbit Penguin stepping forward here. They're trying to get onto Sir Mako of Cheese, but they're going to be able to just kind of get right out of that speed boost from the Tyrael. And now 10 talent tiers here on the opposing side as well. Judgment Tyrael. That's a Judgment Tyrael, my friends. Okay. Thrall is maybe going Earthquake here if they're holding this long. I don't know if this, like, because the Earthquake would be just a great follow-up to the Judgment, because the Judgment's already going to split enemy members around a little bit, and I don't think you want to split them any further. There is going to be the Water Elemental picked up as well from the Jaina, who will slow the enemies, and so that's going to be able to chase on top of the slows from the Earthquake, and so that makes sense. Yeah, they pick up that Earthquake. They got the Water Elemental. Do they try and dive in on this? No, it seems like Leoric's just going to be able to Wraith Walk right out there, and they're just going to kind of pressure the point. They pick this up, and we should be having some more rotations and just kind of getting map pressure sorted on both sides. Actually, only 18 stacks on that Falstad. That's hard. That's a hard time right there on a Falstad. And I wonder if they've just been in the solo lane a lot more. They haven't been in the rotations. I haven't caught it. 11 stacks on the Thrall as well for the Crash Lightning out of the 30 necessary. 30? 30, yeah. Quite a few. Jaina has 11 Fingers of Frost stacks out of the 20 necessary. And that's just going to be mana regeneration increase, as well as when she finishes it, she will be getting a 10% bonus on the frostbite damage. But control point B opens up in the next 22 seconds. We do have our camps up in a minute here, and I think they were trying to step forward a little bit on the enemy team, and they're like, no, we don't want it. Wind tunnel? Oh, I love a good wind tunnel. Kind of throw away a lot of that objective. I can see that a little bit. Well, control point B is opened up. We're going to pull away talents really quickly and see what they're going to be able to do with this. Crafty Devil will be dove on just initially. Phantoms maybe setting up for some sort of gust or some sort of angle for it, but that's going to be Chen right behind them. That's going to be Alexstrasza going down initially, and that also will be the Entomb around them. Lornado right behind it, and that's going to be Chen kicking out with the Storm Earth and Fire. They find themselves a false set, a 1-for-1 trade thus far, as Himibo throws out the Eldruin's Might, and they're trying to make their way onto Raven Penguin, who gets a nice little up knock onto a few of them. That's going to be a follow-up burrow charge on top of that Impale. They managed to get the Tyrael, so it's going to be a 1-for-2 trade. Same kind of fight we saw earlier in the game right before that first objective. And I think this is just going to kind of be the back off for now. They don't have their Alexstrasza for 2 seconds here. Chen going to it will do their best to pressure this, and they're going to be able to back off right there. It's just, they were on it for a couple seconds. They're like, no, it's not worth it. That would have actually, if the Entomb was up right there, I wonder if we would have actually saw them go for that Thrall, because that swipe would have actually put them, that was slow enough to put them in range for them to then step forward and get a few autos off. Thrall does proc Frostwolf Resilience as well, but look at this. Sylvanas is going to tap her trait and push in through top lane. We currently have Chen and Falstad battling out in mid lane. And Piemaker, they have the Banshees over the wall right there, so they're going to back off and they'll just get half the damage onto that. No one on this point right now. You can see it actually going to be going back to neutral at 60%. If they would have kept someone on there, that would have just kept going up, and that might have been the turnaround, or at least the point where they're going to say, cool, let's start initiating. Let's try and get ourselves some charge in our favor. And now everyone's up here. Everyone's back. Can they make something happen with this on the side of Minion Miners? Or will Reborn Knights Black control this and potentially take themselves the second Triglav Protector of the game? We got a half a level lead in favor for. Oh, that's going to be an Entomb onto Sir Mako of Cheese. Falstad going to be coming into here as well, and that's going to be the blow up onto one. That's also going to be the Judgment from the Tyrael going on to Crafty Devil. Leorc will be going down, but out of all the people you lose, that's the best one to lose on the side of Reborn Knights Black. They can cheat death and spawn on the map, or right in the battle right there. They're also going to be trying to get some slow save some friendly members. Alexstrasza popping the Dragon Queen form. Burrow charge through the gate right there as Chen is kicked over, but they've got the gate down as well. Towers are doing some work as well, but Marshall does have one of the Panda Pals, that lightning one over on the right-hand side. Going to be fine. Rabbit Penguin a little bit low. Nice lockdown coming from the Decker Kane, but isn't going to be able to find anything further than that. A really good back and forth, and they managed to put themselves onto the point and start to get some charge for themselves, but 78 is what's on the opposing side already. And as I said, Leorc is going to be able to respawn right on the map, so they're already here, and they don't have any sort of rotation to make with that. Oh, that's a nice Entomb once again, and Marshall will be the target. That's going to be the gust to force the whole entire team away right there, and I don't believe they actually had the Storm Earth and Fire up and available. It's another 47 seconds on top of that. They managed to back out with that pick right there, and they only need 9% more on this Triglav Protector. Are they going to be able to pick that up? Doesn't seem like they want to step up into the point with this. It's a little weird to me. Maybe they're just waiting for their Water Elemental to be gone, so that way they just don't have that sustained damage coming in, and I think maybe that was just it. So they will be able to go ahead and convert this back over, and that will be second Triglav Protector of the game going over in favor for the members of Reborn Knights Black. I don't see a way for them to really stop this from happening on the side of Minion Miners. They will have their Chen back for this defense, and I wonder if that's... Ooh, hold on, Crafty Devil coming down here. That's going to be the... oh my god, the Judgment coming in onto Phantoms right there. Wailing Arrow from the Sylvanas as well. Alexstrasza going to be going into the Cleansing Flame. That was a Lord Nado to kind of push them back, and meanwhile, Triglav Protector. Here's the thing, it's on a timer, so once it spawns, like, taking a fight like that actually benefited a lot more of Minion Miners because they got a few seconds off of this thing. You can see, like, 1/8 of that bar is already gone, maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe you could say 1/3? Not sure. Regardless, they'll just leave top lane because they got a couple minions already up there pushing that in, so they'll just jump up there at some point. But I think they want to prioritize bottom lane. They want to open this up further, and they want to set themselves up for the next objective, which will be control point C in the bottom lane. This is typically the rotations you see from a lot of teams, just prioritization onto these lanes. And this is 13 minutes in the game, so the Triglav Protector scaled up quite a bit, but this team is shredding right through it, already down to 50% and falling as they've taken out the front gate. Anubrak is going to be down here as well. They do have an Entomb going out into a couple members, but the damage isn't going to be there as well because that's going to be Falstad and Decker Kane inside this Triglav Protector. They'd have a split with that because they need the damage, they need the healing as well. They're still chasing Marshall, excuse me. And that's going to be the kick over, but I think They get the stun right in time. You can see it's on a 7-second cooldown. They were trying to utilize that Storm Earth and Fire at the exact last moment that they could, and they waited a second too long. They get picked off, and this will be now this Trigger Protector stepping forward and potentially getting bottom lane. Look at their, with the posturing that they have, they're going for bottom lane. Web wrap onto one. They're going to try and step forward and go for the Janny here. Alexstrasza pops the Dragon Queen form. They make sure that they take that down, and they, okay. They had Gust up and available, so if they got the Gust right as the right before the Web Wrap or the Cocoon ended right there, they would have been able to force the enemy team away and then dive onto the Jaina. But they don't manage to do that. Also to note, she is just like 770 damage away from finishing out the Fingers of Frost, or excuse me, the Frostbite, where she gets the Ice Block. But now this top lane, this has got to be, you want to jump onto this. This is 2,764 health on that fort. You want to try and get that periodic catapult pressure up there, and you're at least going to be forcing out the waves with your Leoric, who still has a biotic emitter during all this. Hey, Lorelei D'Angelo, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Definitely some synergies coming out from these teams. That is absolutely a sure thing. All right, let's jump to some vision for the members of Minion Miners. We can see that they know there's a few members in this mid lane. They got Leoric and top clearing out the camp that they put up there, so they're going to be able to easily clear bottom lane. Now, they don't have any, like, they're not super close to a talent tier any way, shape, or form. What's the opposing side vision look like? Okay, they're just doing the same kind of safe rotations. You can actually see the Decker Kane scouting out for the friendly team, so that way no one else can step forward onto them. And look at this Falstad in bottom lane, just still in range to get that barrel roll and just back right out of there. They also got that Gust up and available for themselves. And I don't think either team is really sharking around per se for a kill. More or less, I think they're just going for experience, trying to close that gap, especially between the members of Reborn Knights Black and Minion Miners. As the Nubrek might have stepped a little too far forward right there. They just burrow charge right out there like, no, I don't want this. I'm out. Sadly, I have to get going for practice. Good luck to the teams, though, and GG's to one at least. Thank you so much for coming by, Shadonis. I hope you have a great night, and good luck in your practice. Baha, it's okay to feel like we're familiar enough with each other now. You can just say Lorelei. You're right. You're right. It's just habit for most people. I usually just read their full name. But thank you, Shadonis. Thank you so much for the follow, or for the host. I really, really appreciate that support. Thanks for bringing over the viewers to the channel, making them aware of the great action we have going on tonight. But now, biotic emitter time. It looks like. Can they steal this away? Let's actually pull away the talents. We've seen these for a little bit here. They're focusing onto Crafty Devil a little bit. They use the Eldruin's Might to back right out. They still have this tethered. Also, Mitch, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Control Point C will be opening up in a few moments here. Hemibo stepping forward. They still are working on this biotic emitter, but it's just a slow go of all of it, and they just kind of back off. And look at all these healing potions from the Decker Kane, as well as the super potion on top. Like, it's so much healing being set up already, and so they're kind of set up to steal this away. Oh, hold on. They found themselves. That's going to be the dive and the earthquake used right there. They're going to try and force them away. That's going to be the thrall going down. That also will be the biotic emitter being tethered, but they get the kill onto Falstad. So a 1-for-1 so far. Cleansing Flame getting a lot of value right there. The web wrap went onto the Tyrael to kind of back them up right there, but that's going to be a nice Lornado coming out from Solskado to make sure that there's no one able to step up further and get another kill. 1-for-1 is where it's at, and that's where they leave it as they go ahead and they get a lockdown onto nobody. That little bit of speed boost from Hemibo will confirm them to get out of the Decker Kane route right there, but Alexstrasza popping the Dragon Queen form right here, and the enemy team is unsure if they want to step forward onto this. The biotic emitter is extremely powerful. That's going to be the the Emerald coming out as well. The York steps forward onto this. They don't have 20 talent here on either side just yet, but they're going to be trying to make their way onto this. Crafty Devil just living on this point, sucking up so much of that health, and also going to be reducing the damage on the opposing side. The stuns are coming through, and that's going to be the Chen going down before they get the value from any sort of Storm, Earth, and Fire. Entomb comes out as well, but the Ice Block was really good. Lornado to force the enemy team off. They go ahead and jump and grab that biotic emitter. Weskra is so very low. Can they get the chase onto this with the Pie Maker? Do they have Banshees forward? That will be the kill right there, and the Pie Maker is going to be trying to put a little extra damage onto Hemibo, but they back out, and they won't get any other kills. But still, a really strong start and a really great sustained fight coming out from the members of Reborn Knights Black as we have hit 20. And it's chat, it's your dream. It's the wind tunnel. That Lornado save? Absolutely. I feel like I'm always here. You are always here. I'm just never sure, okay? I'm never sure when I need to shorten people's names. But thank you for telling me, I will. I barely even play this game anymore, but I like watching coordinated teams, even if it's not Division S play. That Leoric, what a legend, seriously. Woo! Some good plays so far. The other thing to note, though, is we don't have the epic mount for the Falstead, so they're not going to be able to kind of get the quick rotations around the map with flight. But we haven't really seen that be the major goal or the utilization of Falstead. Like they haven't really prioritized like any sort of like flight gusts or anything like that just yet. More or less, it's just been Falstead's raw damage coming out. It's just been getting them the value. I mean, let's look at the damage itself. 45,000 right on the note for the Sylvanas, and Falstead with that 27,000. Leoric actually not dwarfing, but still doing more heroic damage than the Falstead. It's just crazy to me. But we've seen Leoric just living in those moments. 49,000 on the opposing side for that Thrall. So definitely damage numbers are high for that Thrall, but we have a point C Triglav Protector coming in through the bottom lane. 20 talent here on the opposing side, and they've got Buried Alive, they've got Wind Tunnel, they got Rewind. Let's see what they're able to do with this, as this is going to be 20 talent here just around the corner for the members of Minion Miners. I think they're going to have to forfeit this keep, and they're just going to wait for the trickle experience. They've also got that top lane camp pushing in. They can't wait too long. This late game Triglav Protector will siege fairly effectively, and you can see the posturing is a little aggressive. Do they want to try and end with this, or are they just going to rotate back and go for mid? Leoric stepping forward here. That's going to be a dive on a Sir Macro of Cheese. Can they find it in tune with that Buried Alive? That's actually going to be just under the Thrall, and they're going to get a laser out as well. Cleansing Flame goes out, but that's not going to be quick enough as they do find the kill onto the Thrall. Tyrael goes down as well. That's going to be a big blow up right there onto a few of the members, and now they're going to be barreling forward from Phantoms. The huge boomerang, and that won't get the kill into Sir Macro of Cheese as they try and burrow charge forward and follow it up. Cocoon going out onto the Alexstrasza, trying to get onto the opposing side to get the follow-up Impale and block them from going in. There should be a Lornado coming out from the Deckard Cain, I'm thinking. At least with their posturing, it seemed like that they're going for it. But now, the members of Reborn Knights Black have decided and determined that we are going into a game number 3. GG's. Wing Tunnel just pushing them back right there. GG's. Well played. Game 3, baby.
We're dead.
Alrighty. Let's take a look at talents as well. Let's find out what they want to do for game as well. Whew. Alrighty. I got to chug water. That's basically all that you don't see. Alright, we updated that. Let's update our stuff. Bandit's going to give us a nice little breakdown of that last game, and take it away, bud. I'm going to set us up with the next lobby. That was a really close game. I agree. It could have been anyone's, but the only thing is, like, Reborn Knights Black were in the driver's seat for the majority of that game, I would say. There were some good backup moments, or not backup moments, but kind of like momentum potential shifts, I guess you could call it, or just where the team was actually finding a way to make their way back into the game. It seemed like they were trying to take some good fights, but unfortunately, they weren't able to get back far enough and get the pick onto Deckard Cain that they were really looking for consistently. Also, those cocoons coming out from Manubrak were so on point. We're just waiting to see. Alright, we just gotta find out what map. Oh! Okay. Alrighty. That's gonna be chosen by them. Alrighty, cool. Let's all go to the lobbies and get ourselves a snack. Get you some popcorn. We're in game 3, my friends. Poke check. Thanks for joining the server. Alrighty. The other team is also chatting with me and like asking when we're gonna meet for coin flip and stuff, and I was just like, oh yeah. Oh, okay. No, it's just that's whatever. Division B chat. Swap 2 over, and we'll get Marshall in here, and then we'll get going into game number 3, everybody. I hope you're as excited as I am, cause it's gonna be a good one. Heroes Lounge NGS game 3 hi. And did I update this? I did not. Okay, we're all updated. We're ready to go. I could go for a snack right now. I only had soup for dinner. Just soup. It sucks. Alright. We got everybody in here. We're going to get loading into this. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already followed the stream, please go ahead and do so. If you enjoy the content you see, thank you. Thanks for all being here. Thanks for enjoying the stream, and thanks for cheering, lurking, chatting, cheering, hosting, whatever you do. Support. Any support shown is very much appreciated, and I'm glad to have you all here. This is not the only best of 3 that we have this evening. We are going to be having another one after this. It's actually going to take place like immediately after this map, so we'll be going into that one like in a whirlwind speed. But it's Jonesy. Thank you for the follow, my friend, as we are going to be going into our game number 3. Let me push the button after sending the team a message. Alrighty, everybody. We are going to be finding ourselves for game number 3 on... Let's get into it. I ate a Pop-Tart for dinner. Hashtag high life. I feel like you actually might have got more sustenance from your Pop-Tart than my soup. I feel like that's... Did you eat both Pop-Tarts, or did you just eat one out of the package? Because, like, both in the package, like, that's a meal. Just one, that's breakfast. ETC is going to be banned out once again by the members of Minion Miners and Li Ming on the left-hand side. Let's actually jump over to the map bans that did take place, because I'm sure you're all wondering how we got to Battlefield of Eternity. And let's all go through this really quick. We had the home team of Reborn Knights Black lose the coin flip. That gave first pick priority over to the members of Minion Miners in our first game. Towers of Doom and Braxis Holdout were banned out by Minion Miners. Reborn Knights Black decided that Dragonshire and Alterac Pass are not happening this evening. They opted for Infernal Shrines for game number 1, and they lost that. Then the opposing team opted for Volskaya Foundry in game number 2, and they lost that. So now... first pick priority seems like it's going to be the OP choice, as Battlefield of Eternity will be chosen by Reborn Knights Black, and first pick priority goes to the losers on the side of Minion Miners. Let's go ahead and jump back over to our draft, take a peek at what's going to be happening. That's 1K calories easy. Oh my god, that's like half your day of intake. They should make vitamin Pop-Tarts. Come on, scientists, get on it. Seriously? Like, somebody send that to, like, NASA, please. Missed the end of game 2 is very, very good. We picked Battlefield of Eternity? What? Wait, why? Not sure. I hear that determined donut is a meal. Beluga Zool? I think it's Beluga Zool. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support, my friend. Alrighty, let's dive into our draft. Same bands as the last game. Tyrande Sylvanas on the left-hand side. Artanis. First pick priority on the side of Minion Miners. Now, Artanis does have viability on this map, and this is probably his one map where we do see him the most on. But this early in the draft, I'm not sure if it's worth the priority. Oh, they're just full race. And a strong solo. Whoa, that's a main tank Blaze. Because I was like, a strong solo lane Blaze. No, that's a main tank Blaze because Artanis is usually in the solo lane. Tyrande, Sylvanas on the opposing side, Artanis, Lunara, Blaze. There's a lot of healers on the table here. What do they want to get rid of? The Alex Strauss has been kind of strong, but I don't know if they go for it here. Something like an... I don't know if they go for the Ana either. Maybe Lieutenant Morales is a possibility for the Nano Boost? Not Nano Boost. Come on, brain, you can do it. Stim drone. There we go. But it's Alexstrasza. They're so sick of the threat of the Dragon Queen, and Leoric is getting get respect banned out. They don't want to deal with that whatsoever in the solo lane. This map is so monk-ass. It's going to be a good one. That's all I got to say about this. It's going to be a very, very good one here, as we do have Tyrande Sylvanas on the left. What do we get here to round this out, at least for this portion here? They do need a little bit of race. They could go for Hanzo if they wanted. They could go for Genji if they want to grab that. Telenasty, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're doing great, bud. And Lunchbox, how you doing? Leapy Deer? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that's a whole punchy blind. Dang. Okay. Pyke is being picked up here as well, with a Joanna. Wow. Alright, so they still need a solo lane to go up against the Artanis. They don't want to go with Leoric. They could go for Malthael if they wanted to have the last rights potential to kind of rip some of these low health pool heroes, but then Kharazim could just go for Divine Palm, so that's whatever. So that's probably not the best bet. Oh man, I'm not sure. Like, I really like the Arthas here. Because you'll be able to get the speed, the attack speed reduction onto the Kharazim as well as the Artanis, who will step up onto you. Wait, RKB might get that Sylvan bug on this map? Neat. Huh? I see Minion miners have learned how to draft since we left B East. Dang, Stark! Dang! I had to come out and check game 3. You should be checking out all the games. You want to know why? Because you got Bandit analysis over here. Look at that analysis. Bandit, do you want to break it down for the folks at home? He's so tired. Thanks all for hanging out. Thanks for following. Thanks for just being here. I really, really appreciate the support this evening. And yeah, we got more games after this. So don't you go anywhere. We'll have like a short break in between the sets, but that's about it. Oh, alrighty. We're loading in. Hard counter pick. If I look at Minion Miners comp, I is confused greatly. They're just gonna punch their way to victory and stab their way to victory. Let's see if they're able to do it. On the left-hand side here, we got the members of Reborn Knights Black. We're going to be having Phantoms on the Tychus. Crafty Devil is going to be on the Arthas. We will be having the Lunara being played by... I think I actually was saying all those backwards. Lunara is going to be played by Silskado. We're going to be having Rabbit Penguin on the Joanna, and the Pymaker will be on that Sylvanas. Also on the right-hand... Also up one game on the right-hand side, we're going to be having the members of Minion Miners. We're going to be having Murden... Oh my god. Murderin going to be on the Artanis. There we go. Lunar is going to be played by Sir Mako of Cheese. Wesker is going to be on the Kharazim. We'll have Marshall going to be on the main tank. No, that's the solo lane Lily. Is that what Marshall was playing a lot of? But then we're also going to be having Hemibo going to be on that Blaze. I like this setup here. Let's see what we're going to be able to get. Also, Sentinel went out, hit the first person. GG, well played. We do have Sentinel Wisp also for that Lunara. And so something to note here, because I learned it recently myself. It's actually that Sentinel Wisp has to be in the bush in a bush and standing still for 5 seconds. The in a bush part I did not know. I thought you could just throw it out and it would just get you that vision right there. But still, looking at the vision right now, look at this. How much Sentinel Wisp vision is giving. Usually you actually see a couple dives coming out from some of these how do they call it here? Bush? I guess it is just a bush, regardless if it's just a grate or not. But either way, just having these bushes are usually scouted out is usually an area where the enemy team tries to step forward onto you. So just being able to scout that out immediately is just a strong tactic to have right there. But this is a lot of good damage coming out immediately. Phantoms is going to be targeted. They're able to get the Lunar Flare out there to kind of force them back. And that's going to be them just backing off. No one going down, but a very good start to the match right now is they're going to throw the Sentinel Wisp right here, which would get them vision over on this left-hand side. And so they know that exactly. Once again, we'll jump over their vision for the extra. We'll jump over the enemy team vision right now, so you can see that they're on this point. And it's gonna be a nice lunar flare to step forward there. Marshall seems like they might have accidentally hit their B key, trying to auto attack or make their way out of there. But now they're gonna be turning this around once again on the opposing side. Pymaker has to use their Banshees right out of there. It's gonna be the channel for now. But Rabbit Penguin so very low. Can they poke out onto Rabbit Penguin? They're gonna get that one, and can they get the Pymaker? Wesker is gonna go down, and they actually get the 1-for-1 trade. They actually find the Tyrande as well, 2-for-1 in favor for the members of Minion Miners at the start of this game. Let's jump up into the top top lane, we haven't been seeing any sort of action between the solo laners, and we got to highlight their plays as well. We do have the Frost Presence, right? Frost Presence? Yes, from the Arthas at level 1, as well as the amateur opponent from the Artanis. And this is the reason Artanis is often picked on this map, is because of the Twin Blade damage increase to non-heroes. That means it's going to be the objective as well, and that's a level 1 talent, so it will scale throughout the game. The other thing to note too is you're going to be having the suppression pulse from that Artanis at level 10. You could go for Purifier Beam, you definitely could, but often we do see the suppression pulse to just mitigate the auto attack damage coming into the Immortals on the opposing side. No swap right there. I thought for a second, Alun's Chosen. I always thought this was the standard at level 1. No, Lorelei? Vision blocker might be a term you could use as a catch-all, but Bush is known by most players. Thank you, Stark. Diet of champions. I only eat Pop-Tarts and soup here. Man, maybe that's what I need my diet. Maybe I just need more Pop-Tarts. I eat enough soup. I just don't eat enough Pop-Tarts. Maybe that's just what I really need. But we do have our objective going to be spawning here, and that will be camps going to be thrown into the lanes. Really, really good timing on those. And it's just something, while we kind of have both these teams racing, we can highlight this. You can bring this into your own games. When you're grabbing these camps and you want to put them in the lane and create lane pressure for the enemy team, don't grab them immediately at the 230 mark when the Immortal is announced. Grab it as the Immortal is spawning at just right at the end of the 30-second counter, right when you're getting near the 3-minute mark, because what happens is it gets into lane a little bit later, and so yes, it's getting in the lane later, so your push value is going to be delayed, but what happens is you get to these points right here, and in the later half of the game, we'll often see teams start to send one player to go get that clear while there's a bit of a defense, and then once they see that player in the lane, they're like, cool, we're going to now step forward onto the enemy Immortal on the enemy side because we can see that you're down a player. But speaking of being down, we did have a very close Immortal race right there, and let's go ahead and jump over the vision for the members of Minion Miners and get an idea of how they're going to be sieging into this. They do have their Artanis down in the bottom lane, going up against that Arthas for now, so this is going to be a 4v4 siege into this, very, very even. Goliath, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. It's also going to be 6-6 in talent tiers, but a little bit closer to that 7 for the members, or I guess in levels, but 7 talent tiers really, really close for the members of Minion Miners, as they're going to be stepping further forward here. Stun goes on Sylvanas. Can they follow up onto this? Doesn't seem like it just yet, as that's going to be the Lunar Flare connecting onto a couple, and Marshall's going to be targeting out onto this well, so just trying to take away that lane sustain. Doesn't seem like they're able to do it, and they're just going to be forced back right there. Overall, good defense. They lose the front gate. They take a little bit of damage onto the fort, but nothing much more lost than that. We do have Wesker going to be jumping around here trying to get some of these punches onto a couple of the enemy members, and they have this 7 talent tier advantage, but they're trying to use it. Doesn't seem like it's going too well. Nice blinds coming out from that Lily, who has gone into the kind of dragon blind combo, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's full blinds. Okay. I was wondering if this is going to be Wind Serpent at level 1, and it absolutely is, which will be applying blinds out to the enemy team. So just trying to reduce any sort of attacks coming in auto-wise to the friendly team, and it's full healing build for this Kharazim. Himibo very, very low, going to get 1 heal, but they do not get enough, and they go down, and that will be second kill for the members of Reborn Knights Black, as they're starting to siege up into this mid lane, or this top lane. I'm just like mentally still on a 3-lane map, apparently. Better yet, you get all your nutrients in one meal. Introducing Pop-Tart soup. No. No thank you. Oh, you're talking about how Sylv lived because of the Eloons. Okay, got you. And left Kharazim to his death. It's 3 main food groups. Soup, Pop-Tarts, and vitamins. Absolutely. Our next Immortal phase will be popping up here momentarily. We are going to also be having, I think these are going to be up in a couple seconds. Actually, no, I'm way off on my timing, so that's going to be 57 seconds on those. Usually there's a little bit of a longer first phase for the Immortals, but they went just straight into the racing, and they really didn't go for any sort of delay or back and forth for defenses. So we are going to be having these on the race side, and for anyone who's wondering what the minimap signifies, if you see the shield, the defense icon, it is showing it for the blue team. So it's showing it for Reborn Knights Black. It's just that's how it shows it when you're an observer. I don't know if me using vision changes any of those actual. Doesn't seem like it changes it. Hold on, let's see. It does swap them on my minimap. You can see that that's now a little shield up there. But for the time being, we are seeing what the vision is for blue, so that's why it's going to be the axes at top. So if anyone's wondering at home when these are spawning and you can see them in the middle of the map and you're like, who's are spawning for what side? Now you know, and that's going to be Lunara, Dovon, and that's going to be a nice pick off. Huge swap coming out into Solskado, and that's just going to be forcing them away from the friendly team, but that more or less put the Artanis into the enemy team, and now look at Arthas stepping forward. That's going to be the Frozen Tempest, and that auto attack speed reduction coming out, as well as the Frozen Waste on top of it. That's huge, because you just get the mana cost reduction as well as its movement and attack speed, excuse me, once you finish it right there. But that's going to be a nice lockdown onto one. They're going to send a couple members away to go get the race out, and that's going to be Himbo with the AoE stun onto a couple members. And I don't think they're too concerned with this race anymore because they have secured it themselves inside of Reborn. Second Dragonite, second Immortal of the game will be going over in their favor, and that'll be jumping up into the top lane. For anyone who's wondering why it determines top lane or bottom lane, you can see it takes into account how much damage is in the lane. So you can see there's already a gate and a little bit of damage onto that these two towers. Looking in top lane, they've still got the gate, more damage on the tower, but overall more structural integrity for this top lane. So that's why, and then there was probably more damage going onto that as they were stepping forward. But speaking of stepping forward, Commandeer Odin's going to be coming in here. We don't get any sort of Syndra Ghost. It's just going to be Army of the Dead for that Arthas. We do have that Shadow Stock for the Tyrande as well. It's pretty much the standards across the board. Blessed Shield for a setup from the Johanna. And we'll see. They were stepping forward there a little bit. I think they might have been looking for a combo onto a couple members. Condemned to pull in a couple. And they're just anchoring for the team, just waiting in the sides just to try and get this this setup here for the massive bouncing Blessed Shield. Because I believe it maxes out at 3 members? No, it's 6 right now or something. Bounces to 2. No, maybe it's the upgrade that goes up to 6. I might have that wrong. Either way. Oh, that's just lockdown right there into Lunara, and that's a very, very powerful second Immortal of the game. They're going to be able to open up this top. I'm waiting. I'm like, do they take out more than the Keep Front Gate? No, they're going to back off. This is what you'd expect. 7-sided strike also for the Kharazim at level 10. Blaze with the combustion here. And is that Water Serpent for the Lily? Water Dragon, excuse me. That is Water Dragon for the Lily. Okay. It's a weird match where the 4 is broken world. Yeah. It might have just been them like pre-prepping the lane in a sense, or just getting a little bit of damage onto that tower. Maybe that's the reason it prioritized that top lane over the bottom. Because I was a little surprised by it myself, and I was like, well, I wasn't looking at top lane, so I don't know if like Tychus was just pushing into that and they had a minion wave right there, or Johanna was just anchoring and just eating the damage. They will push out their top lane. Are you going to grab their shamans themselves? This will be the bottom lane Impaler camp going to be picked up in favor for the members of Reborn Knights Black. About a level lead in favor for them, and let's actually cycle through some of the other numbers. We looked at talents long enough here, and we know what the 10s are. Top lane really bolstered up here, and you can see Arthas has to make the rotation to make this defense. Once that happens, look at Artanis in this bottom. Arthas is going for the clear, and they know this. They can see that Arthas is up there, so look at them. They're going to be stepping forward onto the enemy team, and they want to try and take this fight. This is exactly what I was talking about. Water Dragon comes out. That's going to get the slow onto 1, and now they're going to be able to get Rabid Penguin potentially here. That's going to be 7-sided strike coming out. Combustion coming out from the Blaze, but the silence is going to be so good. Pyromania is not going to be good enough, and Rabid Penguin gets sliced through. A 1-for-1 trade thus far. And Immortals will be spawning here, and I think they just managed to back it out. Arthas is still up in top, is going to be rotating back over here. As I said before, the swords on the map are going to signify for the members of Reborn Knights Black, so they're going to go for the defense in the bottom and attack in the top area. 13 talents here over their enemy team. 8 seconds on the Johanna, 2 seconds on that Blaze. So I think we might just, I was going to say we might have a delay here before they actually take another fight and get those main tanks back, but no, they want to step forward onto this. Ooh, this is a lot of good damage coming out onto the Arthas and Artanis, but they're chasing after Sir Mako of Cheese. Water Dragon coming out, that's going to slow into 1. Swap goes out onto the Pie Maker. Banshee's forward, and they put them right next to Sir Mako of Cheese, who gets the leaping strike over the wall. That's going to be the healing going out as well. Crafty Devil so very low. That should be, they pop one of the ghouls right there, and they're going to stay alive for now. Shield Glare coming out from the Johanna, who's also going to be utilizing everything they can to keep the friendly member alive, but Crafty Devil ends up going down. The Immortals will still be up at this time, and a 2-for-none trade during all of that. That pushes them closer to 13. They should actually confirm it right here with a minion. No, they actually need like one more minion, which is just so fresh. Oh, they get it still. And so they will be able to just dive onto this, and this will be the halfway phase kicked off in favor for the members of Minion Miners. Really, really good fight and just return coming out from them. 6-5 when it comes to kills, 13-13 in levels. We got ourselves a really good game here as the Sentinels coming out from that Tyrande to scout out a little bit, but they just go straight up for the race. They don't really care because the Arthas is going to be down on the opposing side. Lunara laughed over the entire blue team. That's going to be a huge combustion coming out from Blaze Water Dragon as well. That's going to be the... Oh my god, they're trying to get onto Tychus here, and it seems like it's actually going pretty well for them. The Commandeer Odin's getting a lot of value as well. They're trying to make their way out of here on that Artanis, and they go down right there. You don't want to be losing members right before you have the siege, because that will just turn around this entire Immortal phase, and so they say, cool, Artanis is the only one that we lost. Let's just go ahead and just deal with that. Now top lane, look at this. Look at all of these archers, I guess spear throwers, if you will. One catapult, and as well as another wave coming in. They've got an Immortal, but this is still pretty powerful. They've got to deal with it. Marshall? Okay. Okay, they've got Wesker dealing. I was like, somebody please, like that's just gonna barrel right through there, and you're gonna kind of mitigate your value overall from this Immortal. But speaking of Immortal, it's gonna be pushing in through top lane. Still has a little bit of shielding as well. That Sylvanas E had me dying. 900 IQ E. Yeah. What's up, John Knight? Thanks for coming by, bud. Also, Judy, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Thank you for the 3 months of support, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I will resend your alert when we get out of this. Immortal does go down, just takes out the front gate and a fort in the top lane. We are going to be seeing the Impaler camp being picked up here. Sentinel comes out from the Tyrande trying to scout out if anyone's down over here. And I do think that they can see Sir Mako of Cheese right here. Let's actually get the vision for Lunara right now because she's got this Sentinel Wisp right there, and you can see how far into the lane that she can see. I mean, it's almost all the way to the well right there before she loses the Arthas. So just that Sentinel Wisp with that 200%, so very powerful. Looks like they're going to back off and go ahead and grab their Bruiser camp. It's a little early, but I think it's more or less they also want to deny this being stolen away from them from the enemy team, by the enemy team, and this will also bolster their experience overall. Another Sentinel going to be coming out here. I think they're just throwing these across the map to maybe see if there's anyone going to be setting up to try and go for the invade onto this before 16 talent tier. They do see that the opposing side did pick up theirs, and they can counter Artanis in top lane. They might see the Lunara here. Yeah, they know she's attacking a minion. But they can't count most of the team, so Sentinel is once again going to be coming out, seeing just if they can catch anyone just maybe even above them as they back out and just rotate into wave to get the clear. And no, they're just... this is a setup right now. Crafty Devil. Oh, they can see him too. This is just, it's just so much scouting coming out, so much essentially warding for the members of Minion Miners is setting them up just so they can make safer rotations. But I like the Sentinels that are coming out. Look at this top lane push and pressure that's coming out right now. They send out one Sentinel. They know that there's a lot of members coming up here, so they're just like, all right, mount up, get out, get right out of there. Huge, oh my god, that's going to be Suppression Pulse. That's also going to be the Combustion, I think, came out from Blaze initially at that, and this is just going to be everything being utilized here, and we do see the Tyrande going down initially. That's also going to be the Army of the Dead being popped by the Artanis, and, or excuse me, the Arthas. Lily goes down, so a healer for a healer, but they still have the punches from Kharazim on the opposing side that they need to deal with here, and that's going to be Leaping Strikes coming out. Joanna does go down. Wesker needs to just kind of cycle out and get a little bit of healing. They do have these Leaping Strikes. They're going to dash forward on Phantoms. Can they get a grenade? That is going to be the Lunara going down, but can Phantoms get away? Oh, they've got really no way to stay alive, and boop, they're out. 3 for 2. Catapult pressure mounting into top lane, but Crafty Devil. I don't know if you get out of this alive. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, we are going to be having this Artanis just pushing into this Immortal and just doing their best to just burn this down as quickly as possible. And they're doing a great job of that. You can see actually how quickly it's going through. Wesker's going to come down here and just apply some punches as well. We do have the Lily back in, as well as Himibo coming down here, and they just have their Lunara down for the next 3 seconds. Halfway phase has been triggered, and they don't have members up for the next. Tychus up for 3, and Arthas up in 16 seconds. This should be an easy Immortal in their favor, and more or less I think they're just going to go for the burn onto this side to take down some of the shielding, because the red bar, if you don't know, is going to be the shielding, or the opposing bar of whatever health is left on the enemy Immortal, there you go, is going to be the shield bar for your Immortal. You can see that right there. So this will be coming into bottom lane, as noted before. This is the lane where they do have the most it's the most well-defended lane, so just that fort will be the priority for the Immortal here. And now, they move on in. Hey, Paperclip, how you doing, bud? oh, he's a healing carry. I assume damage. He's still putting in some decent damage, I will say. 18,000 when it comes to heroic damage. Actually, quite low on that end right there, but still, we are going to be seeing the Water Dragon coming out. That will be the Iron Skin already used by the Joanna as well, just to make sure they're not going to be slowed by the Water Dragon. And that's the bottom lane fort going down. Talmondir Odin coming out here. No 20 talents here, so no big red button or anything like that. They're just doing their best to anti-siege right now. Swap onto the Sylvanas, who's going to be able to just kind of run their way right out of there. And they're actually going to be just kind of playing from the side right now, trying to get some damage in. Banshee's over the wall just to get right out of there. And now they reconvene onto this the middle of this push. I don't know how to word it properly. Dive in from the Blaze right there. They're going to get a little bit of damage onto a couple players, and that's going to be the silence out from Sylvanas with that Wailing Arrow, but Wesker is able to stay alive for a little bit. The Frost Presence connecting onto a few with that continued, they're just catching people with the trail right there. Swap did go out onto Crafty Devil, and now they're looking to burn them down. That's a lot of good damage going on to the Arthas, who's trying to stay alive by popping those ghouls, and the Leaping Strikes are just going to be the nail in the coffin for that Arthas, as they also get Himibo a little bit low right there. Water Dragon coming out as well. They step forward with this Immortal, and I think they might try and end the game right there. Nice use of Banshees from the Pie Maker as Sir Mako Cheese was trying to end right there, and that's going to be another player going down. Tychus out of this game, and now they set their sights onto the core. It looks like that is going to be game number 3 going over to the members of Minion Miners. They take the series 2-1. GG. Well played. Sorry, I'm just getting a message out to the next team to let them know that we're done with this game and we are ready to go already into our next set. So